Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Today I'm with the returning guest, Melvin. Hey, man.
Hey, good to see you.
How's your day been going?
It's been good. I moved locations.
Oh.
Just briefly.
Where to?
Well, I was there, but now I'm sitting here this week. I just decided to kind of mix it up for you guys since, repeat viewers.
I think there's some other people in this room, too, though.
There are.
Yeah.
So we got Jonny to the left of me.
Howdy.
And then we got Dave, or David Bug. What do you like to be called? David Bug? Or do you like your full name, or Dave, or?
I go by a lot of names. Some people call me Doug. They like to combine the two. Some people just call me Dave Bug. Friends back home call me Buggy D. That was my radio name back in the day. We just go with Bug. Let's keep it easy.
And you guys are cashing in karma.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So let's just start right there. Cashing in karma. I feel like it's kind of straightforward, but I'd also like to hear the breakdown of what it means.
Oh, man. Okay. So I got like really into philosophy in college many years ago when I made this thing, and I was like trying to find a cool band name, and all of my other band names were terrible. Melvin, you remember?
Okay. I will give you this. Whenever he signed me in and I got into this band, I remember it was called The Reckless Living. Dude, you can cringe all you want. It sold me. I thought it was kind of a cool name, but I mean, that's just me. I thought it was cool. And then I remember it was like right after we did like the first like random show in front of people, and it was like the next day I came and hung out for a bit, and you sat me down and we were just jamming, and he's like, yeah, I decided I was going to change the name up a little bit. I was thinking Cashing in Karma. And as I was just sitting there just like playing around, I was like, huh. And like the more I started thinking about it, I was like, dude, that's solid. I like all of it. It sounds fitting to what we want to make out of it too.
And the meaning of it is like, I guess is a little different than like how it kind of sounds. It's not necessarily like, getting good for the good deeds you do. I think in kind of what I was trying to define cashing in karma as is like, bad things are always going to happen to us. And like a big thing is like pain is going to, come our way, but it's our choice to suffer.
Okay.
So it's kind of like if you can take something bad and turn it into something good, you can take, something terrible that's happened to you or something bad and just find a way to put that energy back out as something positive in the world. Then.
And did you think of this meaning just like after creating the name, or like is this something you had to think about for a while before you're like, this is actually what it means?
That's a good question.
I did kind of modify the meaning as I went, because I like what I just said more.
Yeah, buddy. It's an ever-growing evolution of a purpose. I love it.
What was the very first one?
Exactly what it means. Just to do something good and I reap the rewards somewhere down the line. That's cashing in karma.
I always just figured it was like karma can go good or bad. You know what it is? It's like no matter what, your actions are cashing you in. Like if you do something good for somebody, you can cash in that good karma for something good coming back to you. Or like if you're doing something negative, you can expect that return to come back at some point in the end. Like that's just something I always kind of saw it as, because a lot of the songs we even talk about, it's like there's so many themes that play into just like your experiences in life and the way you go about handling those things that happen in your life impact how you even see the world, and how the world even perceives what you want to give. But
doesn't karma fall under like superstition a little bit though?
A little bit.
Littlest bit, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, there are some people who don't believe in fate, and if they don't believe in fate, then they probably don't have a strong belief in karma.
Or like walk under a ladder. What are some? There's like, this is Halloween season, right?
Break a mirror.
Yeah.
Breaking mirrors.
I got a black cat, so
crosses your path.
You are a black cat.
Hey, no. It's funny though. I've had a black cat for about a year and a half now, and I've kind of had that quandary myself. I'm like, so if you own it, does that mean it negates the bad luck, or does it just mean like you're just guaranteed don't go walking past your cat at a certain day, or you're probably going to be, hurting yourself for a couple of years? I don't know.
Wait, so you're just not supposed to walk? I don't even understand the black cat thing.
The concept, if I'm not mistaken, was like if a black cat crosses your path, you get, I don't even know how many years of bad luck.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it like 7 years of bad luck? Or
something like that.
Yeah, I know that's the mirror. It could also be for the cat.
What's the mirror one?
If you break a mirror, you get 7 years bad luck.
Oh, I know the ladder one.
What's that?
Aren't you not supposed to throw salt over your? Or you are.
That's
no,
supposed
no.
to when you.
Yeah, if you spill salts, I think you got to take it and then throw it over your left shoulder.
Oh God.
It's either
yeah.
one or the other, and you're screwed if you do the
Open-
wrong one. I know that.
Opening umbrellas indoors.
Oh yeah.
You do that, you're screwed.
I really.
I feel like that's not even like a bad luck thing. It's just a piece of advice.
That, I think
'cause
that's
it's
what
really
people
annoying.
do in Washington, though. Like we wear coats outside and open umbrellas indoors.
Well, I heard that real Seattleites don't even use umbrellas.
That's true.
That's the thing. Yeah.
That's
We kind of look at you a little sideways if you have an umbrella in this day and age in Seattle. But I think it's kind of weird now that I think about it. All these bad luck things, they're all like these requisites. You know what I mean? Like you're just like you can pull out an umbrella and pull it out outdoors and you're totally fine. But if it's inside, you got like all these years of bad luck coming your way. It's like, well, okay, so you're gonna tell me at some point that if I have a pumpkin in my living room in November past a certain time, I'm screwed? Like, there's so many of these little fine details you gotta mind in order
Sounds
to not
like
have bad
religion,
luck.
kinda. Huh?
Oh shit, we're going full circle today.
just gotta play some Stevie Wonder now.
Oh,
Just
I love
pull
that.
up the
I love-
lyrics.
Oh no, I'm not gonna do that.
Do you know his song "Evil" by any chance? It's like one of my favorite songs of
Probably.
all time. It's
I'm so poor
such a
with those
crazy
names.
song. I actually heard it from my best songs I find are from listening to like watching a movie or a TV show. And it was in have you guys seen Atlanta by any
Yes,
chance?
I love that show.
Yes.
I haven't seen the second season yet.
Oh,
Second season's pretty good. I'm really a big fan of the first one, but the second season was pretty solid. I'll give
and
it
the
that.
new season of Dave is out too.
Already?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm behind. Dude, you know you have a show?
No.
In Atlanta, there's like the Michael Jackson, the Michael Jackson episode.
Oh, that Halloween type thing?
Yeah, at the very end, it plays the Evil song.
That's the song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Evil, dun, 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 dun,
I just love the little nuances that kind of played into Atlanta. Like, I think that's one of the big things that I enjoy about people kind of like Childish Gambino, Tyler the Creator. They kind of have this universe they try to set their music into, in my mind. Or at least in the sense that like they tell a story, the story continues from one to the next, or it may even be just like a project type thing where you could see elements of Atlanta playing into the further trajectory of Childish Gambino. Or
So,
yeah.
like, if we're talking about Childish Gambino, like because the internet, you know about the whole like visual thing that went along with it. And
Oh, dude, I
everything?
loved that thing.
That like okay, so everything Donald Glover, I just love. Like,
dope.
Yeah.
especially like Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian. I could watch an entire Disney Plus series of Childish Gambino's Lando. That
Fair.
would be rad. That would be
Fair.
so cool.
Hell yeah.
I'd be down for that.
That'd probably be hella expensive for Disney, though. You know.
Well, I mean, Disney's got the money. It's eating up literally anything and
Yeah.
everything you can see that's free. So
Oh, he retired, didn't he? Retired.
official as of the last
Childish-
album.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so that was his last one. And I mean, the thing about it is, I kind of see it just like how people like to talk about how wrestlers retire. You're not really retired. You just stopped making music for a while.
Or like Jay-Z or Little Wonder.
This
I mean,
dude
fucking
retired
anyone.
as many times as I've seen Rolling Stones go on a reunion tour. Like, I swear this is the last one. No, dude, you're coming back in like 3 years. Calm down. We get it. You know what I mean?
So Johnny, tell me a little bit about who you are. I feel like me and Melvin are on this
just-
wavelength.
we-
you know?
we already know each other. Let's do it.
So I'm a guy that grew up in the same town as Melvin.
Lacey.
We both grew up in
Oh,
Lakewood.
I worked
Lakewood.
there.
Okay, I was
He
off a
works
little
in
bit.
Lacey, but we're both from Lakewood, and we both went to Pierce College, and that's kind of how we met and linked up. I
Go
put out
Raiders.
like a little ad on like this bright orange piece of paper that was like looking for guitarists for fans of this band, and this band, which was consequently Melvin's like favorite band.
He had like all the buzzwords I needed. He said Jimi Hendrix, he said grunge, he said Nirvana, and he said, I think you might have said Foo Fighters,
Dude,
but
9 years, like. And it would have been
It's
around
wild.
this time, like 9 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I keep thinking about that
Oh,
too.
man.
We've been around this whole thing for so many years, and I even think about it now. It's like I just remember the anxiety I felt. I think the same day I went to go and do like the first rehearsal, the first like tryout playing with Jonny, and at the time he had a drummer by the name of Yoselin. She was awesome.
Jocelyn.
Interesting
Such a
name.
good drummer. I know, right?
Yeah,
She was
but-
such a cool person too.
Yeah.
She was,
I mean,
she was a bit
honestly,
of a badass too.
She was our badass. We were both geeks. At least I'll vouch for me. I was a fucking geek when I was in high school, and so like playing and being in a band with these guys, where I've never really done a band experience. I told you last time I was here. Like the first band I was really like associated with in high school, I felt like it was a front for 2/3 of the band to meet girls. So like I wanted to play music. They didn't really do that. And I just kind of sat there as they had girlfriends come over and stuff. And this was like the first experience where I went out. They said, hey, you want to meet over at my house? We'll work on some songs. I'll show you some stuff. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. I did my ACT test and then I went over there. So like it was one panic to the next panic. And I'm just like prepping myself mentally like, okay, stop talking about ACT. Start thinking about rock music. Let's have fun. Let's just have fun with it. And then I got there and I did.
What'd you get on your ACT though?
I think I got like that's out of like 27 or something like that, right? Because I could have sworn I hit like a 19 or 20. It was enough to get me into school.
There we go.
Nice. Got into a good school. I can't say anything else about that. So,
but 9 years.
9 fucking years.
So I mean, and before that, I was just this guy who was, I was honestly kind of a weird kid, kind of antisocial. I had like epilepsy and a slew of other like.
Oh shit! So you
just,
still
like,
have epilepsy? Is that something you're?
I actually grew out of it,
What?
but I had like all of these like mental issues because of it. Because like it, you know, I had a lot of head trauma as a kid, and then I had epilepsy, and I had like all this stuff. So I was just like a little bit of a like just a weird anomaly case of like some kid with mental problems and like stunted social skills. And then I got into college and I got like started expressing myself through music, and that's when I really like started to bloom and come out of my shell. And you know, I really didn't like where I was, like, you know, probably around the time when Melvin met me was when I was really starting to go through that transformation into
what
that,
year was this for
you know, like new person. And that's kind of
11.
What was that?
The year we met was 2012? Yeah, it was 2012.
October 2012.
Oh, good God.
I remember it like it was 9 years ago.
I feel like Wayne's World's just coming in.
But yeah, like when we met, we were kind of still figuring out our sound. I had all these old songs, and then I like scrapped all of them and came out with this song called Jigsaw Road.
And was this a solo thing you had, or were you in other bands?
I was just trying to make a project, and you know, it was Reckless Living at first, and then it became Cashing in Karma. And you know, before we ever started playing shows, Cashing in Karma was just like not a pet project, but just a passion project. Yeah. Us in our garage jamming, trying to find bassist, drummer.
Playing music for no one else but ourselves.
It was my family's garage.
Hey, there we go.
And that was like the place we jammed out of for like 3 or 4 years. Even and then eventually we moved into the living room.
The evolution.
That was nice.
That was a fun one.
Little extra heat in that living room. It was quite nice.
Dude, it was fucking cold in that garage. I remember in between songs, I would have to go.
I feel so bad for keeping the drums in there.
Don't you just
any instruments, just in general?
Don't you just think back to those moments where you left him in the cold ass garage? You're just like,
yeah. Or the times where you would be like, I don't want to unpack my gear on like a cold day after a show or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, and then like, so we were in Karma for like 3 years before we met Dave. Or no, like. It was 2015 to 2018 is really when Cashing in Karma became a thing.
3 years.
And, you know, we had music that we released. We were playing shows. And Melvin left the band for a little bit, like right as Dave was starting to jam with me. And then we went through like 2018, 2019 together. And then during the pandemic, Melvin was like, dude, I need to come back and play music.
I missed music too much.
So here we are.
Yeah, man.
We've come full circle.
And we're back.
Hell yeah.
It's nice.
And then Dave, you're not originally from Seattle, right?
Yeah, correct. So I'm actually from Detroit.
Hey.
For those of you who are familiar with AmeriCorps, I actually signed up to do that. And I spent a year here in Seattle working with Habitat for Humanity to kind of build a Habitat for Humanity store down in Auburn, Washington, and B, expanding their digital footprint.
Wait, can you break down what is Habitat to? It's like
Habitat for Humanity. Let me show them my shirt so that way everyone knows I'm advocating for them.
Get that plug.
But yeah, so Habitat for Humanity is all about building affordable housing in low-income areas. So for a lot of people, our typical demographic are people who just moved or just immigrated to America, and mainly it's because they have no bad credit or credit history to have bad credit. So we typically work with them to actually build them a house and get them into a healthy neighborhood so that way they can grow their family and be a part of the community. Habitat for Humanity has had a lot of success in the past, and we've done a lot of great work with a lot of great families. But yeah, at the end of the day, when I signed up to do AmeriCorps, I was looking at 5 different states: New York, Texas, Oregon, Tennessee. 5th one in there, but I digress.
I think it's us.
Yeah, Washington. That makes sense.
Dude, I love the word digress. I've been hearing it a lot lately. I haven't used it yet, but I want to start using the word digress.
You know, it's funny you say that. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it's funny you say that because literally, I think the year you joined Cash and Karma was like my last year working associated with Habitat for Humanity.
Really?
Yeah, because so...
Wait, you're telling me you're associated with Habitat for Humanity and you're telling me now?
No, I told you this when we met. Okay,
That's how we bonded, remember?
This is when we
I
met.
thought it was over Marvel.
Well, that was someone else. No, I just remember. So before I had this whole slew of different jobs, but like one of the biggest main jobs I had getting out of school was I was a GED instructor. So I got to actually teach GED students in a program called Youth Build out in Tacoma, which what they did was they took students that needed to get their GED or they fell back and they needed some kind of community service. And we helped them both get their GED, helped them get tools to start doing like apprenticeship programs and things like that. And we also spent that time learning those things so we can help with Habitat for Humanity in, I believe, Tillicum and Tacoma were the 2 spaces that we were at for that. So we helped in a totally different area, and I didn't help them with building houses. I wanted to, but I just helped them get their GEDs. So teaching them math was fun.
Damn, you guys seem like very nice people who are...
Thank you.
What is that called? You're good Samaritans, right? Like you're helpful to society.
Altruistic.
That's a good way to say it.
Aim for it.
So what do you do, Jonny? Have you helped society?
He helps us in so many ways.
I guess a big thing that I'm trying to do just actively is be a advocate for mental health awareness, and not only mental health, but specifically like mental illness awareness as well. I have bipolar disorder, and it was a huge part of like, you know, how my life has gone, you know, and it's a huge part of why I am the way I am. And when I developed it and when I found out I had it, well, I was in denial for a couple of years, but like, you know, I really thought it was like the end. Like I was like, my life is over. Shoot. Like,
oh man.
I started like having periods of like deep depression where I couldn't hold down a job, and I was struggling with, you know, school and college and struggling to have a social circle, to like not sleeping for 5 days and being manic and going, you know, a mile a minute and starting like a new project every hour and thinking I was gonna like become the president or something. Like I was delusional, and that was like crazy freaky, and I thought I'm never gonna be able to relate to people again. Nobody's gonna know what I'm going through. I'm never gonna be able to be a normal person. Never gonna be able to, you know, just a whole bunch of things.
Did you have any steps on how you're going to become president, though? Or?
Very slowly over time.
Okay.
Very, 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 very slowly. And I'm gonna eventually just become I'm gonna become the one thing that I swore never to be, because that's how it works, right? If you become a politician, eventually you just... So maybe I won't be president, but there's you know, alternatively, I did find out that bipolar is definitely something you can live with and thrive with, and you know, music was a huge, you know, thing for keeping me stable and having something to live for and do, and you know, making music that either inspired people or meant something to something, like really gave me the energy to keep going. And then, you know, I got treatment. I started figuring all this stuff out, and you know, I'm like, wow, I'm living a freaking I'm living a normal life. I'm, you know, doing what I want to do, and you know, as I've talked to other people and shared it, like I guess I've inspired others to get help too. So, you know, that's something I want to continue to do, is either, you know, talk about, you know, my story and just reassure other people that, you know, if you have a mental illness, like, it's not the end of the world. You can cope, survive. You might have to live a different way than other people do, but you know, you can thrive. Like you can really do that. So I guess that's kind of my zone. And you know, as far as everything else goes in the whole like altruistic sense. Like, I just try and be a nice person, you know, listen to people, try and be understanding, seek to understand, and not, you know, like that kind of thing.
He succeeds.
I like
at it.
philosophy stuff too, so I'll quote a lot of
People.
He's our deep thinker.
Give me a quote right now.
3. Okay.
2.
Just like anxiety, or no, just like muddy water, anxiety is best cleared by leaving it alone.
Oh.
Ooh,
So
Getting
very
deep
nice.
if you
already.
start fixating on your anxiety and you're like, oh, I gotta like solve my, you know,
Then you're
think
anxious
through it
about
and
being
everything,
anxious,
and then you
right?
start like thinking, you know, you just gotta leave it alone. Distract yourself. Watch a video. You know, come back to it when you're feeling good, not when you're in this tense state. You know.
Did
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Wasn't a mental health awareness day like last week or something like that?
Couple weeks
So
ago.
in September, I know there's like a suicide awareness week, and then May is like the big mental health awareness month. But I know like there's like days for everything. I think yesterday was coming out day.
Yeah,
National
it was.
coming out day.
And then I think it was like last Thursday or Friday, if I'm not mistaken. It was like some kind of mental health awareness day.
Depression Day.
I'm a
Depression
huge
Day.
fan of
Hey.
Charlemagne the God, and he threw this like huge panel. I forget where it was. Might have been like New York.
Oh,
So I think
that's
it was
cool.
last week, or maybe it was in the past couple of weeks.
Sick.
But I guess there's so many days for everything, right?
yeah.
Essentially.
I actually I saw this show down in Tacoma at the studio called Decade Sound Studio, and there were a couple of rappers down there, and there's this guy named Tizzy Teach, and he did a show, and he was hyping people up, but he had a couple of
Bring that microphone
songs.
a little closer, by the way.
He had a couple of songs that like really just kind of talked about like more the struggles of like just being a man and having emotions, and you know, being in a place where you're not really encouraged to talk about them as much, because you know, like, you know, everybody here in this room can probably attest, like, it's not always the easiest thing to just be like, damn, I'm sad, you know.
Oh,
Especially as a dude,
Very
like,
true.
you know, it's not always the easiest thing to you know, come to terms with, and it's not always easy to find like support for that kind of, you know,
absolutely.
thing among friend groups. And like,
Do you find your bandmates very supportive?
I think my
Huh?
bandmates are pretty rad.
Yeah, I think I got some great people in this band, and I think there's not a lot of people that I try to like associate with outside of my personal world. Like, you know, when I think about it, I'm very A-B. I take care of what I need to take care of at work. I go back home and I take care of my home as much as I possibly can. And the stuff that I do musically is my outgoingness. It's my social butterfly coming out. You know, I don't try to have all these other elements to it, because, you know, a lot of outside elements can really screw you up. And there are people that are not going to do the right thing around you, and you got to make choices on whether or not you want to continue with that. And I think having an outlet like music be the place where I meet my friends, I'm able to play and enjoy and have fun creating these cool projects with people. I find my niche. I find my civilization and my society in that, you know, like I feel like not just in this band, but in the bands we've played with, in the shows and venues, and even the people we randomly talk to after the shows. They're the people that I want to interact with, because the common thing is we want to have a happy time or a happy experience in a safe place, and it's always there.
Like, the thing about Melvin is he's also just, everything he said is 100% true, and he like, he's like a kid in a candy store when he plays music. Because
That's very true.
and when we were playing through one of our songs, Yesterday Didn't Work, every time we'd get to the bridge section, you know, it'd be loud, but I'd be able to hear like Melvin just be like, fuck yeah. Like, every time we would go to this one section, and then
just
I'd look
hits
over
so
and he would
good.
just be like going like nuts on it. So,
Shit hits
like,
different. It does. I can't say anything
he has
different.
enthusiasm.
I love
on
it.
stage during practice, and even just when he's talking about music, is like I aspire. Like,
I can't
That's
turn it
dope.
off, and it's not like I want to. I feel like the one thing that is really cool about playing music is you get to be yourself in the most genuine and authentic way you can. When you do it right. When you're doing it for the right reasons, you can do that. And like I've come to this evolution in my own thinking of how I perform and how I am as a musician, because when I first started playing, I played it because it was fun and I wanted to do it, and I wanted it to be more than just me playing in my room and annoying my parents and my brother with loud noises at 10 o'clock at night. But as I started playing shows, I had this outlet because I didn't even realize it, but I was just so mad about so much about what's going on in my life and what's going on around me. And it was a way for me to kind of let it loose without it being the negative route to take. Mm-hmm. And then I left because, as weird as it is, I don't like to think of it like this anymore because there's more to life than what I am thinking. But when I figured out things, when I started figuring out what I wanted to do or how I wanted to get there, it was like, I think I can find my happily ever after here. I can find that happy ending somewhere down the line really soon. And I got to this point where like everything was working. I got married and I loved everything about marriage, still do. I got this job that I've always wanted. Like outside of playing music, I've always wanted to be a teacher. I knew it from an early age in like middle school that teaching was something that I found to be
grade do you
thrilling.
teach?
So I taught fifth for a year, and then I got a year and a half into third grade teaching before pandemic chaos kind of fucked that up. But I wanted to teach, and I did all of these different things. Like when I went to college, my focus was teaching. When I got out of college, I found jobs that got me closer, and then I found my foot in the door, and I just stayed in and gritted my teeth and tried to make it work.
So now that you're like, saying cuss words
on
podcasts and things that'll be seen by the general public, where does that put you in terms of being a teacher for youngins?
Wait, has he sworn?
I have. I just said it. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm just curious, like, do people care about that stuff?
I mean, it's kind of a thing. I'll have a funny story on that in a second too, but it's like, yeah, in my mind, I don't.
Let's all say the N-word in 3.
No. Nigeria. Got him. Oh, there you go. No, I'm kidding. No. Anyways. But yeah, as I kind of got through all of these things, I started kind of realizing, I felt more when I was doing this stuff with Cashing Karma. I felt more when I was creating music, and I felt involved. I had my hands in everything, and I wanted to make sure I was able to tell this story. More of it. And we were able to do that when I was in this band. And after pandemic happened, I was able to give myself time to think. I had a therapist for maybe a couple months when I could afford it, and he helped me kind of piece together that these were all elements that I got fulfilled playing music. So
isn't that a stereotype that black people don't get therapy? So what was the steps for you to
honestly, it was just when I could afford it. I was teaching, and teaching gave me the one thing that teaching really gave me the joy of was I didn't have to worry about all the odds and ends of like paying my rent, paying utilities, getting all these things. I was comfortable, and with that comfort, I was able to realize, well, let's start taking care of me. I started trying to find a therapist. When things got really weird and rough in the pandemic, that's what I did. And it helped me realize like the elements that I really missed was being in a band. Because like I said, that was where I got social. That was where I had that. And I never did it outside of that. So when I got back into it, I started feeling like me again. Mm-hmm. And like all these other elements, the things that I incorporated in the time I was away, just made it better. And in fact, it made me look in and think, well, I played angry for so many years, and it was good. People told me I played fine, and I was like, I was a great persona on stage. I was pissed all the time when I was up there. But now I go on stage and I have fun. I'm just sitting there just playing with my boys. It's like, it's such a good time. And I can look over at Jonny. He's having fun. I can see Dave. He's out in the crowd having a good time. Ben's in the back taking care of business. And it's like I never left. And I never want to leave again because it feels too good. Yeah. It feels too right. And I mean, all I want out of life is to be able to do all the things that I aspire to make sure is positive in the world, or at least provides a positive experience for whoever's out there, and really make sure that at the end of the day, I'm not bogging myself down by doing things I feel like isn't right for me.
You know what? We were talking about being presidents earlier. I don't want to be a president now. Melvin, you be the president. I'll be your VP.
I happily reject that offer because you and I, we can't handle that stress, dude.
What?
That shit, no.
But it's for a good cause.
How about this?
The people.
How about this? You and I, we meet on stage at Leeds and Reading, and we make that be our presidential speech. Let's have fun on stage, and let's make everyone think that we can do that.
These are the issues, and we'll just have them be our songs.
Yeah, man. That's what we do this for anyways.
Okay.
We don't need to be president. We get to do that in our own way.
Your next album will be about being a president or something.
Dude, that would be a crazy concept album, though, right?
So,
And then everyone gets assassinated at the very end.
Oh man.
Legit. Okay, so
All right,
there's
there
a
we go.
song.
Sopranos.
There's
or
a song like that
Godfather.
though. There's a Wyclef Jean song that he did like back in like 2000 something. It was called "With I Was President," and literally it was just him talking about if he was a president. Never had a black president before that. It literally started with him
Dude.
being inaugurated and then shot like 3 days later.
Oh,
you guys
shit,
wanna
how
make-
have I not heard that song?
Right.
You guys
John.
want to make a concept album about being the president?
Oh shit.
We could make it
Okay.
like really nuts.
I better
like,
get some credit for that.
We'll throw you in that
Yes.
special things. We got
we
you.
can
got
we could
you.
even like co-write. I don't know.
There we
like,
go. That sounds.
I,
get in
I'm
on
all
this.
for collaboration.
Yeah, it's fun.
You know,
Makes
and-
the world go round.
So Dave, what do you add to the band?
What do I add to the band? I mean, really, I just run on stage and act like a jackass for, fun. And that's really where I'm at.
It's what we
Oh,
love
That,
though.
that's
There we go.
that's,
Good
that's
explanation.
one way to put it.
Yeah.
Dude,
I would say,
Uh-huh.
Oh, go on.
I mean,
you first.
Compliments.
like acting like a jackass.
Mhm.
Like, you could say that,
Mhm.
but I think it's more of an art. I think it's a bit more tasteful than that. It's
Thank you.
Distinguished
It's,
jackassery.
because he knows when to jump out
Mm.
and just kind of like surprise people and
Wait, what?
no, in a good way, like not like, oh hey, I'm right next to you and hello, I'm playing the bass here, I'm in your space. No, it's you just like you jump out right at the parts that go hardest in the songs.
Yes.
And I don't know, like sometimes I'll look over and I'll think Dave is right there, so I'll like, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna like go jam with him, and then I'll turn over and he's like gone.
He's gone.
And then I'll just kind of like look out, scanning through the crowd, just to like see if there is any semblance of Dave.
Mm.
And there usually is. He's not hard to spot when he's out in the crowd.
I love that
But
stuff.
no, like Dave is an awesome bassist, and he's awesome on
You're making
stage.
him blush.
Well, thank you. You flatter me. But what I typically like to tell people is, I actually am very anxious on stage, and I can't stand still, so I do that instead.
Do you have stage fright?
Oh, yes, for lack of better words.
Hard to believe.
Yeah, no, trust me, I'm shaking my boots by the time I get on stage. It's really embarrassing. That's why I'm so
You
sweaty
even
on
wear
stage.
boots.
That's why I'm so sweaty on stage.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at every shit, I'm sweating buckets. So I mean, like that's pure anxiety right there. And I find it
Slipping
best for
on
me
your
to just
sweat.
I
run
would-
around and jump off stage.
It's a tie.
Contest between you guys.
Are we gonna have a sweat off?
Oh God.
Unfortunately, I think we're gonna end up having a couple by
I
the end of
think-
this
Oh,
year.
boy.
man.
I think somebody here, even like as a part of their show, preps a sweat towel. Is that right?
That's me. I have a sweat towel.
It's got a headband already.
I got a
huh?
headband. Actually,
man.
so fun fact, this is actually an old T-shirt that I cut the sleeve off. So I have like
That's the sleeve.
this is the sleeve. So I used to be really I wouldn't say really. I used to be pretty overweight. I was about 260 maybe back in 2018. That was the last time I clocked that in. And then over the span of a couple years, I've lost 70 pounds or so.
Hey, there
So
we go.
I might be teetering at 199, 200 right now. But essentially, before all that, I was a freaking wreck. And then now going into shows, I'm like, it's less sweaty, less of a mess. Still bring an extra set of a lot of stuff because I don't want to look nasty and smell musty and all that nastiness. But yeah. And now that I have a partner in sweat climb and Dave here, it's kind of nice to kind of have the relativity of looking to my right, going, oh, good. I'm
Yeah.
not the only one. Let's keep going.
I just found the right deodorant for me finally. It's
You
taken
did.
years, so I feel very proud of myself.
It's
Very
tricky,
nice.
though.
No, it's
People
like
think
I
it's
don't.
easy.
It's all about trial and error.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Definitely
I'm
tried
having
like
an
10
issue,
different
though.
types.
So I don't know if this is just like me or if this is anybody else, but I think like I get deodorant and it'll be good for like 2 years and then it just will stop working and I have to switch to something else. It's like my body just adjusts.
Your
and then
natural
it's like,
biota
nope.
shifts.
It's more like good for like 2 days for me, and then I have to switch it up.
Oh man, and I had like I know what you're talking about though, because when I used to go to college, like I had like this really bad problem with just like sweating, like just like it was like waterfalls coming out from under my arms.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Just stick to the rivers and the lake that
Yeah, you
you're
definitely don't
used
want to chase those waterfalls.
No, I don't want to chase that one. I think that one's going to make me smell salty.
But yeah, I don't know. College was stressful. You know?
Yeah,
Are we all good on deodorants now?
yeah,
I think so.
For the most part.
I'd like to hope that when someone walks past me and says, they're not going, oh, fuck. No, they're just
You know,
my
if
natural
anything,
urban cowboy,
if someone
man.
does like that, I hope it's just like they come really close to you and like, you
See,
smell good.
What if it was Joe Biden? Would that be okay?
Oh,
Ooh,
That'd be
See,
boy.
acceptable.
I'd have so many questions because
Oh,
then at
boy.
that point he just get that close to me. I'm gonna go, whoa, 6 feet, dude. You talking social distancing? Let's talk social distancing.
lead by example.
There you go. Come on, Joe. No, but going back to some things, Dave, as much as he is as a stage presence, a vital member, I found that in the last couple of months and just kind of seeing how he works behind the scenes too, seeing how he puts his nose to the grindstone and he really tries to help us get connections with venues. He's right there with Jonny when it comes to like connecting this band and networking and trying to find access for us to get shows. I mean, I'm not a slacker when it comes to these kind of things. I'm not a slouch, but when it comes to kind of getting that next level, I think these two are really the dynamic duo when it comes to that. And I thank them because I get to go play fun shows, and I'm just like, fuck.
Thanks for giving us credit. I feel like a lot of times, most of our shows are like the offers that we get that we kind of like sift through, and we're like, okay, this one's a pretty good one. Let's do this.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean,
like
but you know, like some like
Johnny,
we didn't.
you gotta let them believe we put our nose to the grindstone. We're doing a lot of work.
Yeah, we're doing.
these
this
guys are
all-
doing
yeah.
such phenomenal stuff.
We're
I just-
tactical.
Yeah.
can't
It wasn't like the
believe it.
last shows, even prior to the pandemic, were all just offers given to us.
You know what? I will say though, like the shows we've been doing and the shows we have planned, super excited for them.
So
I'm
stoked.
really happy
So
with them. And like for anybody who wants to play a show with us, it's got to be at least a month out. You know, like that's kind of our criteria. Is
So you guys are playing during the pandemic? Have you played already? Or?
we did one show at the High Dive in Fremont. That was like our big EP release show.
was a fun
We came
one.
out with some new music, and everybody, you know, Ben, he wasn't able to be here, but that was his first time being on a release with us. First time with all four of us. First
Right.
time with
Actually,
Dave
yeah.
and
Yeah.
Melvin. And
Yeah, I missed the first run of the Cool Dave stuff. So I'm glad to get in around two. Really glad.
we have a Halloween show coming up.
On
and-
Halloween?
Yeah, it's gonna be like
Yeah.
on Halloween night. We're gonna do 5 p.m. It's good. It's a Sunday, so we got to start it early.
Yeah,
You know,
of
got to
course.
make sure that everybody can, you know, have fun, get a couple drinks, sober up, and go home.
Be ready to hand
Go to
out
work on
candy to
Monday,
kids.
or call out on Monday, one or the other.
Okay.
Are
Are you guys dressing up?
Oh, yeah.
I got two in mind.
I think Ben is gonna be Freddie Mercury.
Oh.
Sounds like it's gonna be sick.
Keep it a surprise.
So I really wanted. We really have some cool ideas, and I'm really excited. I'm a little bummed because Bright Side we do. I do two sets on that day because I play with college radio first, and then we get Cash In Karma to close it out. I'm
Double
so
duty.
excited for some double duty. This is
Double
like one of those
Melvin.
like dream situations where I'm like, I could play all day. Let me play all day. Let's try it. But because of that, I can't do costume changes too well.
Just
So
rip it off underneath.
see, tearaway clothes is awesome, but it's expensive. I can't do that. But we have some really basic ideas for some cool concepts for one set, and then for the next set, or at least for after the show, I have another costume, which is gonna be fun. I'm trying to do a couple's costume for the first time in a while, so it'd be fun.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Is it gonna be fuzzy dice?
Oh, God.
You know,
Don't
we were
give away much.
talking about being like the Squid Game.
No.
Dude,
no,
like
no, no,
Squid
no.
Game
Everyone's doing that.
I
shit.
saw
But
photos,
you know what?
though.
I'm glad we're not. But one day, can we just be the lobsters from the Amanda Show?
Dude,
You guys know what I'm
yes.
talking about?
Oh my
No,
God.
I
Bring in the
didn't.
lobsters.
Oh my
Wait,
God!
what?
You just said the Amanda Show, and my brain just turned into a 12-year-old.
Bring me back.
Oh, that's
Is that like
awesome.
a Nickelodeon show or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
dude. Amanda
2000s,
Bynes.
early
Okay.
That was the
2000s.
jam, man. But
Can't
yeah.
go wrong.
I want to be the Kanye West bear, but there's like it's so like there's no place you can buy the head.
The head's impossible to find.
Yeah, I spent all day yesterday looking.
Can I offer you a replacement? Just go as Kanye, find those blind shades, and just go running up to any random person at a party. Go, sorry, let me hold up for a second. But that's the best costume I've seen all night, and then just walk away. No fucking clue who you are. Then walk away, go to the next set, and within earshot of the last group, just say, "This the best costume I've seen all day."
I mean, you could also like
tension you
grab
build.
plastic bags and like just breathe into them and be like, all right, close it up, $50,000.
Oh,
Because
dude.
wasn't that a thing?
Yeah.
Like for
Wait,
a
wait,
bit, like
what?
the Yeezus concerts or whatever, where it was like selling a bag of air from the Yeezus concert, $50,000.
Or you could just go around with a ripped T-shirt and say,
bids.
"This is
That's
$600." It's like, who are you supposed to be? I'm Kanye. $600.
Oh.
$600. No, I'm kidding. But
That's funny. I
Not
really
kidding.
wish I could find that head though. Like some places like 200, but it's like not the real head. Like you can't really find it. Like no one really makes it. It was just some like random website that said it was $200. But I was like, I don't know if I'm going to buy it from this sketchy website.
and you can't guarantee it's
Gotta
gonna get
find
here
someone
in time.
on Etsy that you like really like their work and be like, hey, make me this, and like just be awesome. And then because once you have it, you know, even if it's a little more pricey or whatever, but
Yeah.
you know, like then you have it.
That's true. You can use it all the time too.
The
Why
Kanye
not?
West bear head.
Yeah, I mean, you can find some multi-purposeful uses out of that. I mean, you can hang it up on a trophy mount. You could scare the random solicitor that knocks on your door in the day. I mean, whatever way you want to take it.
When I was before the pandemic, I had a huge like monkey head. It was like a stuffed animal monkey head, like a sock monkey head type thing. And I used to wear that to raves. That was really fun.
That sounds fun.
I don't know where it went though.
My EDM concert days were short, but I look back on them like so fondly. Like I went to Paradiso 2015, and that lineup, like Knife Party, Skrillex, just like all the acts that were just like really like bumping during that year were all there, and that's my experience.
It's a fun time right there.
Very nice.
So during this age of social media, how do you guys find your worth as a band?
Ooh, interesting question.
You know, it's funny you say
So,
that.
actually, no. What do you mean by worth exactly?
Ooh.
You know, like I feel like whether it's like streaming numbers, followers,
Okay, I see.
you know, just like influence, you know, like that all. I feel like people really think that's what matters to be a good band, you know.
Who
I
wants to
think
field it?
you know numbers are important for industry reasons. You know, we want to get our numbers up so we can get the best opportunities that we can, and you know that's our goal. You know, from the internal side of things, you know, that's what we want to do for growth. But I think when it comes to like personal satisfaction that we get out of the band and how we measure success, is if you know what we're doing is bringing people like good times. You know, if someone is rocking out to our stuff in their car or something, and then they leave a comment on that, and we read that, and we're like, yeah, you know, that's like
It's a good feeling.
it's a good feeling, yeah, because you know we like. I don't BS when I write lyrics or anything like that. Nobody BS's when they're. It's very intentional what we put down for all of our parts, and you know, like we want to have fun with it. It's not like it always has to be a super serious thing or anything, but you know, we want to just be able to make music that, you know, it adds something to people's lives, and when we know that that's happening, and we're getting money. You know, everything's good.
Gotta have that bottom dollar.
Oh
you
wait,
know?
the money part's important too. I think that's
We'd like to quit our jobs and continue to do this as our sole means of income. I'm just gonna look at the camera and say that because that's what I want.
Who has the coolest job here?
Don't look at me, please. Don't look at me. I honestly,
you know what?
Yeah.
I work at a skimboard and longboard shop,
Ooh.
and I
skimboard?
press the plies together for longboards right now, and then I also do fulfillment and like quality check. Still learning all the other stuff, but skimboard is like it's like probably like this big and like kind of like this kind of shape or so, and
Like a surfboard more?
yeah, so it's kind of like closer to a boogie board, but it's really thin. And you don't go into deep water. You'd be like on the coastline or like in like a little stream, like on a creek. So like I go to Chambers Creek down in Lakewood, for instance, and it's just like this much water. You throw the board down and you sprint after it. You jump on and then you just glide. And people like go off little kicker ramps, hop up on boxes. You can do ollies, 180s, all these crazy stuff. It's kind of like
wild.
skateboarding, but on water.
So you could do that if it's like really rainy here in Seattle. Just go down.
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy
Dude.
because there's also like a subcategory of skimboarding that's come out called urban skimboarding,
Oh.
where people on rainy days will just go to like fancy ass cities in Europe, like, and just skim over monuments and stuff. Like,
But you can't float on them.
you can't float, no, but you can skim.
Very nice. And can you skateboard or?
My work actually has a mini ramp, so I've been working on the skateboarding. I've just kind of been
On the skateboarding.
and I've been able to get some kick turns in there for the skateboard. I can do some ollies. Landed a couple 180s, but no, I can't really skateboard.
Do you wear a helmet? Or are you like a?
If I'm dropping in, I'm wearing a helmet because
What about like
Don't
knee
wanna mess
pads?
with that.
you can really
concussion
whack your
gas.
head. I think if I go to like a skate park, which I haven't done yet, I'm gonna like go looking like Master Chief, just like all the armor like in the world. Because as much as I love all the boarding stuff, like I can't break a wrist. I've played drums in other bands as like a session player, and I play guitar and like
Every
I teach guitar.
appendages.
So
Every
It's-
appendage you have is too
I need
vital.
it. So
So are you guys in multiple bands, or is it just Melvin's in the?
Melvin's in college radio and cashing in Karma. I'm drumming for Haley Graves right now. I'm gonna be filling in for a couple of other bands in the scene, and then I have another project in the works. I'm not leading it or anything. I'm just the drummer, and I've been working with this really talented gal from Tacoma. Her name is Peyton, and she just has this really cool like psychedelic rock thing going on that I just believe in her music. So I'm really excited to see that come in 2022.
Hell yeah.
Very nice.
What about you, Dave?
So I myself, no, Cash and Karma is the one and only. However, if anyone's looking to do math rock stuff, let me know.
Math rock stuff?
Math rock.
Math rock?
Yeah.
What's math rock?
Oh, so it's basically, long story short, just varying time signatures throughout a song, for lack of better words. I mean, basically, if you look at the early stages, think of like Rush.
Nice.
And then it's basically evolution of prog into like the next stage. So there's a lot of fun stuff out there. Anyone who's looking for a recommendation, Floral's really fun.
Ooh.
TTNG is my personal go-to. Delta Sleep, all those guys.
Delta Sleep. Oh, so you showed me that.
Oh yeah, no, I
I
am.
dig it.
Oh yeah, honestly, probably my favorite one right here, right now. But yeah, no, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cash and Karma's one and only right now. If anyone's looking to do a math rock thing, hit me up. Until then, I'll be doing jujitsu to kill the time.
Oh,
so
you do
There you
jujitsu?
go.
yeah. I've been doing BJJ for a total of like a couple months now. Prior to that, I was doing judo, which is basically jujitsu with stand-up. It goes way farther in depth than that, but just basics. However, with judo, I got thrown a lot. I got tired of that, so I wanted to stay to the ground, which is BJJ in a nutshell. So I kind of just want to stay there, so I switched over to that.
My stepdad's a
That's sick.
jujitsu master, so like.
Oh,
that
really?
is really
Whoa.
Does he
Yeah.
teach here in Seattle?
he's part of Kindred, so he's like really
Really?
up there. Jujitsu stuff. I'm not really into it, and like during the pandemic, he's always tried to practice like jujitsu with me. I'm just
He's
maybe
like-
it'll come with time.
He's like, this is your time to train, son.
Yeah,
This is the
I
one.
just-
If I ever do get into jujitsu, Dave, you have to film it. That way I can just like have a compilation of like my ass just getting handed to me over and over again. Because if I'm gonna go through that pain, at least like document it.
Montage the shit out of that.
So I
Yes.
can, achieve some sort of virality from it.
Jujitsu people are like friendly killers, basically. That's the best way to
They'll
describe.
they'll shake your hand, but they're ready for battle.
Oh god.
So honestly, Dave is just a really swell guy.
Yeah.
Oh, shucks.
True.
But on tour, bodyguard.
There you go. But
Multiple hats.
on the topic of like projects and different groups and stuff, like I never even went into the idea of having multiple bands in mind. I wanted to just come back and play with Cash and Karma. It just happened like the week I announced that I was gonna start playing music again. I didn't even announce Karma yet. I got a message from Gordon from College Radio
It
asking.
said you up. And it was 1
It
a.m.
was like 2 a.m. He's like, "Yo, you got your guitar? You want to come by?" No, it was like he just said, "Hey, we if you're looking for a band, we need a lead guitarist." They had all these things going for them, and they needed help pushing to the next level. And I said, "I want to give it a shot." And I mean, at the end of the day, I love all of these projects. I don't see myself leaving any of them. I want to stay in this until the wheels fall off the track or fall off the wagon here. But all of this in my mind, I do want to see myself fronting a band at some point. Like, I don't think I'm at a point where I trust my songwriting ability to do it full stop on my own. I think I have elements of how I can make things work sonically, but I use all of these bands. I use all of these bands to enjoy the collaborative process, understand what it means to be in a band, and I hope in time, as I kind of get better at it, just like how do I lead a band? How do I take that?
Melvin, I will help you. Please.
That's why I'm here.
Anytime you want to sing a song, like
You guys had some like strangling arms. You're like,
I know.
Come on.
You're like, I'm worried if he's
We've
going to
already
try to
started
enlist
one.
me or take me in. I don't know.
like I don't have to sing
I
on
know.
every song. It's
and,
great.
and you guys give me that freedom, and I love it. I'm not saying that I can't do it here. It's just like I see things in my future, and I want to try to do those things. Like, but right now, my focus is making Cash and Karma the best band it possibly can be, and making college radio the best band it could possibly be. No more, no less. That's what I want. I'm a selfless person as a musician. I want to make sure that the stuff I put out or that I'm a part of is quality. Everyone in this band can feel that they are in a part of that collaborative process. I want everyone to know that they're valued. I want to make sure no one goes through this and feels like they're not being heard, because I feel like we all have that drive to do it. So that's all I want out of life right now.
Did you guys rehearse a lot during the pandemic, or
Honestly,
a lot of
no.
bands?
No, not
Too
really.
much.
For a while, I was living with an at-risk person, and that meeting up just wasn't an option for like the first 4 or 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started kind of like,
Reintegrating.
trickling into practice and recording slowly but surely. And then, pretty much when we had our EP done, our 3-song Hello World that we just put out,
Dope project.
Thank you.
we started meeting up every week, said we're going to put on the best freaking show we can at High Dive, and we're going to make our return as, big as we can without, stressing ourselves out, because we still had, full-time jobs and bills to pay and
Still got
all
that.
this craziness that gets in the way of us just being the best musicians we can be. And I think, everybody in Seattle I think we all wish that we could just do our passion and have that be the thing, why can't we be paid like bands in Europe?
Only.
Guarantees every show? Man,
Nice.
why isn't that a standard here?
Hey, I'll take food vouchers, but man,
We can
it'd
go
be
into
nice.
a deep rabbit hole about that
no,
one.
not food vouchers. Bands deserve to get paid.
Oh,
That
dead
they do.
on. I agree.
They also should be expected to bring people to shows.
Yes.
It's a two-way street,
Butts need to be in seats, but we should also be, compensated for our time and our efforts, because that's really what it is. It's our sweat equity. Everything that we do leading to the show is getting that show to happen, and I think we're seeing that kind of become a really cool resurgence in the sense that, like, since pandemic kind of quieted down, or at least we're getting to the point where we can play shows, I'm seeing it's becoming easier and easier to get people to come out to shows, because they've missed out on this opportunity to support their friend before the pandemic, and they miss all the aspects of society, which I think one of those things is going out to a show, seeing a band. It doesn't even matter if it's a close friend or you wanted to go and check out Foo Fighters or go see Catfish in the Bottlemen or something, but it's a
or
matter
Cash and Karma.
or us, yeah, why not? But the fact of the matter is, people miss this, and we will need to do all we possibly can to support those that want to continue doing this.
And they specifically miss us.
And I hope they specifically miss us.
Right?
We miss them. But the fact of the matter is, we got to make sure that we keep this momentum. We can't just stop supporting our local bands because, you know what? We now can see Dua Lipa at the Climate Pledge Arena. Cool, do that. But
Climate
please,
Pledge.
go and see your bands. Go see your friends play. Go see Buff Muff. Go see Wide Only in the Wreckage. Go see Cash and Karma. See these bands, because there's no way they're going to get any further to seeing Climate Pledge Arena for themselves unless you do that. Honestly.
Or we should just
See, now you put it on recording, and we're worried that we got to get ourselves tracked. See, I didn't want to say it. No, I'm kidding.
oh my God.
I'm lost.
Nah,
What?
Never say that, kids.
Where
man.
are we going now,
Like,
Melvin?
I spaced out for like a
What?
solid 2 seconds. I came
Hey,
back to
I
that.
didn't bring that up. I didn't bring that up. That wasn't me. I was just shooting the shit, saying some nice things about how we want to make local bands have a good time. That's all I'm saying. I didn't say.
And then
any
I
other
just went
stuff.
crazy.
He just wants crazy. See,
But I mean,
So-
like,
How do you guys feel about the COVID mandate on the 25th of October coming up? I mean, COVID
Ooh.
vaccine mandate, or like test requirement.
I'm not always up to date on everything. What's
like,
happening here?
Restaurants,
Mhm.
venues, bookstores, wherever. You have to have a vaccination card or
Mhm.
COVID test to be able to go anywhere in Seattle now.
Yeah.
Starting the
So,
25th.
I guess, I understand where people are coming from if they're irked by being required to have a
Irked.
vaccine, because I know that in America it's it's a value for a lot of people, a lot of families, a lot of everyone to just be like, look, like, my choice is, part of what I define as freedom. So I get if people like, get irked about that, but like I'm happy that we're doing it. I'm happy that we're able to have live music. If this is what it means for it to be back, I'm more than willing to do it, and I'm more than willing to participate in making sure that it's done.
preach.
Mhm.
And I just whatever happens, whatever the varying viewpoints are on this kind of thing, we all want it to end. And we all want music back and all this stuff. So I think, just
Yeah.
I'm just here for it. Just it's gonna happen, and I'll take it as it comes.
It needs. I feel like people are just. I have my views when it comes to everything that's been kind of going on, and in my mind, I just hate the backlash people get for the choices they want to make in their own personal lives. I think if you are being responsible, you're taking care of yourself. You're making sure that you're not harming others or you're causing risks to other people's health as well as your own. So if that means you're wearing a mask, if that means you're vaccinated, if that means you're doing all of these things and being precautionary, that's what you have to do. If one of these things you don't want to do, I don't care what it is. If you don't want to get vaccinated, cool. You're wearing a mask everywhere you need to go. That's just being safe and responsible. If you don't want to wear your mask, cool, get vaccinated. Maybe still wear that mask so you can be a kind and decent human being to really make sure no one else is going to get passed on anything, even if you're sick. Because, flu season's still a thing.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, we're not going to get out of this unless we're thinking smart, we're not attacking one another, and we're just doing the conscious choices that we need to do in order to be surviving out here.
We're
and
on
that's
this
it.
together, man.
We are. It is. It is flat out that. And I don't know. I can't stand it when people go attacking one another because someone chooses not to get the vaccine.
Yeah.
They should choose. They need to make the choice to wear the mask. But that still doesn't mean they have to be beaten down or chastised because for some reason something is against their moral obligation or their ethical rights to go and get vaccinated. Because before this, we had anti-vaxxers. We had people that didn't want to get flu shots.
Yeah.
Did we have trouble getting through society with people not getting flu shots?
No.
No. It's the same thing. So don't attack people like it's something different.
Right.
This has been a PSA from Cashin and Karma.
But yeah.
I like
I'm
your
off my
guys'
soapbox.
your guys' masks are dope though.
Oh, thanks.
Kind
Your mask. I just realized
It
that your
matches
mask
his shirt.
It matches me.
Oh,
Actually,
wow.
I have a lot of fun with this. So there are a couple shots of me playing shows. So I normally have my carabiner to my jacket pocket right
You just
now.
have a
but
carabiner on you?
yeah, dude, are you kidding? I feel like the most Northwestern, or at least the most like scene band thing to do is have like your keys on a carabiner dangling off on the belt loop or something. But it's like I have this looped into my little carabiner as I like get on for shows, because like, in my mind it's always cool to just have it in the back of my back pocket, because you never know when you need it. Because I wear my mask. Just stopping. I'm stopping. I'm sorry.
I thought only janitors had carabiners. But
Dude, rock climbers have carabiners. It's cool. It's a thing.
yeah, that's
it's a thing. You gotta need it there.
so what's the biggest impact for each of you guys that COVID has had on your guys' lives?
Ooh.
I'm here.
You're on the NAST podcast. That's the biggest impact.
If there was no quarantine, I'd probably be trying to figure out a curriculum still today, and or probably finding something else. I don't know.
If I was still, I would have burnt out. I would have crashed and burned because I wouldn't have admitted to myself that I needed to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
The pandemic kind of made that choice for me. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I think it was a blessing and a curse for me because I was forced to slow down and re-examine my life because I couldn't just, you know, go crazy with shows and booking and trying to do everything within, you know, a normal 7-day week. You know, I was acting like there were 10 days in the week and just not being realistic with time and my ambitions.
Running for president.
Yeah.
Campaign was kind of getting sloppy after a while.
You know, like I wasn't even at any of the debates in the 2020 election. Like, come on.
Did you? I didn't even see your name on the ballot. I'm a little hurt. I almost had to vote
enough,
Kanye,
you know,
dude.
I saw
I'm not
D's nuts on
35
there,
yet,
but-
so not 35 yet, so I can't be president yet. So darn.
God.
Senator, dude.
What about you, Dave?
But yeah, so some of the Jonny, it was honestly in a sense a break. I mean, yeah, pandemic, very, very severe, very intense, but it allowed me to actually have that introspection of just understanding what my limitations were.
Yeah.
And just understanding how it would burn out. Because prior to this, you know, it's like band, jujitsu, work, other work, video project, like everything under the sun. But with the pandemic coming in, it literally just slowed everything down and made me realize, oh wait, this is where my source of depression and anxiety is coming from, is all these other things. So for me, it was.
So you guys are just an anxious band, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess so.
That's why you guys bond so well together.
But
maybe
you know
there's
what?
more to that.
Also, from the anxiety comes like a burst of
butterfly.
energy and just like needs to let loose. And that's exactly what we do.
Mhm.
We just let loose.
Yeah, dog.
I feel like Garth from Wayne's World right now.
Honestly,
Man,
man.
I didn't realize he had
Let
like
me
velvet.
know.
Look how much velvet he has on.
Mhm.
I didn't realize that at all.
Yeah.
It's like a
Velvety boy.
leprechaun.
Little
Cool.
a sucker for velvet.
Said no one.
Oh.
I mean, it has been said.
No,
Johnny
you are.
2021.
There you
I'm
go.
a sucker
It's on my
for
grave.
It's right there with I feel the need for tweed, Michael Scott. You're right there, man. It's perfect.
There we go. Did I cut you
Who
off,
is
Dave? I
Michael
don't know if you were trying to wrap up.
I
My
mean,
bad.
that was basically the end of it. You know, it gave me that sense of introspection. I got to understand what limitations were, where my actual focus should be. And I mean, yeah. I mean, now that I know those limitations, what they are, like, I feel like I'm getting healthier in terms of like what I can actually do.
That's
with myself.
awesome.
Sweet, dude.
Hell yeah.
So, I mean, for what it's worth in the pandemic, I've found a positive light within it.
There we go. Wait, you were the band that came with Nate Lewis? Isn't your like roommate like another band member or something?
Oh yeah, Colin McAllister. Yeah, so he plays in Apology Wars.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't work in Apology Wars. He doesn't do it.
No, he's just there for show. That's all.
Cosmetic.
He doesn't go in there, schedule band practice, get on KEXP, and all that other jazz
Yeah.
that makes everything flow so well together.
Not the-
Oh, man.
That's dope though.
But yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. I mean, when he invited me on, I had two goals in mind for that interview. It wasn't to promote the show at all. It was just to talk about the space cake I made him and to brag about the film we made called Paint that we did with Patrick Gonzalez.
Such plugs. Love it.
so good.
It's a solid one.
But yeah, no.
Wait, what's paint? I don't think I.
Oh, so me, Kyle, and my other roommates decided to make a film, and also my partner Tiana. We made a film called Paint, where it involves my roommate Abby just moving in, and she ends up being basically a witch, and she basically kills all of us. It's a real hoot and a holler, to say the least. We had a lot of fun making it. We spent the entire summer doing it. It was a good time.
It's pretty great.
That's solid stuff, man.
I
I
got
liked
the
it.
script and I was like, what the hell is this? And then I read it and I was like, oh, this is great.
We should shop this around.
And then
Sundance?
the video ended up
Yeah.
being exactly what I imagined it on the script, which I don't know if that's like the sign of a good script writer or something, but
Mhm.
it
I would
was
chalk it
pretty.
up there.
I enjoyed it.
It was
I could-
really cool
I
stuff,
could watch
man.
more videos like that.
I like that.
You gotta send it to me.
What a way to spend this
Oh, yeah.
quarantine.
No, absolutely. I'll shoot you a link afterwards.
Hell yeah. What is some advice you each have for up and coming bands, artists, creators, influencers? Who wants to start?
Yeah.
Dave,
I'll start
there
off
you go.
first here. So honestly, any idea or inspiration you have, just go off and do it. Because I mean, when it came to Cash and Karma, I actually really never played in a band before this. I was in a cover band, but that was about it. But it was one of the things always on my bucket list. Like, I wanted to be in a band. So when I first moved to Seattle, I just put it on Facebook. Who wants to go play music? I need friends. So Johnny hit me up. I'm just like, all right, I guess I'll just chalk down to Lakewood because that's like 10 minutes from Seattle, right? Learning that wasn't the case, I'm driving all the way down. Hung out with Jonny. It's like, I like him. Hung out with Melvin, like Melvin. Will Chi at the time, like Will Chi.
Will.
This is another member that.
He was our old drummer.
He was a killer one.
Mm-hmm. He was great.
So there was Jocelyn and
Will.
Chi.
And now we have Ben.
We have
He
Bet.
kills it.
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Either way, yeah. Hit up Jonny, or I guess he contacted me and went down. We jammed together and was like, this was fun. And then yeah, after listening to the Earthbound EP over and over again, I was like, I want to play with these guys. These guys are fun. And they're about something I really care about, which is mental health awareness.
There
It's
we
always
go.
fun. It's always
I
good.
Is there
know,
anything
we're
you want
gonna-
to say on mental health awareness before we get to the next person?
Yeah, definitely. So for those who are unaware, I'm actually a writer for mental health articles. So one thing I really, really, really want to destigmatize more than anything else is that if you go see a therapist, you are not crazy, you are not a psychopath, you are not bad, damaged in any way, shape, or form. You're just going in for a checkup, basically. It's the same thing as going to the doctor. You're just going in and giving yourself that space to talk, to breathe, and to give yourself that kind of like clarity and to move forward. It's not harmful at all. It's very good. Seeing a therapist is not a bad thing.
How are you
Biggest
doing any
preach.
different than taking your weight? You know?
Yeah.
You're still, exactly.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, here we go.
Rock,
Oh,
paper,
wait.
rock,
Wait,
paper.
we gotta do it at the same time. Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, well, I thought it was shoot. Okay.
Oh,
on
I
three,
don't
on three.
do the shoot.
Okay.
oh boy.
Just go. You won. You win. No, I'll go. We'll save the best for last. We know Johnny's gonna have some good stuff. Do you want to? Okay, this is exactly what happens. We're both too nice to
Canadian
take it.
standoff here. Yes, you go, please.
Sorry about that.
I think I'll take this one because I would rather have Jonny close us out when it comes to the mental health. He's got a better expertise towards this. If I had any advice for somebody going towards music, I think just do it. Just try it. Give everything a shot. Don't shut out everything. When I started playing music, I started with the intention of just wanting to be in a band. I just loved playing music. I watched the Foo Fighters live at Wembley, and it made me want to pick up a guitar and be in a band. I watched Green Day play at like the VMAs back in like 2010, and watching them perform and drag a whole group of people on stage to just crash this live TV thing. It was like, it may have been staged, I don't know, but in that moment, I felt this energy that it's like, I want that, and I just wanted to find it any way that I could. So, I just listed out there like, I just want to jam. I want to play, have fun. And never shut out a passion. Even if it's something that feels like it's impossible to reach, make steps. Small things get you there. Not the big steps, not those giant things that you see people post about on Facebook, because that is hidden behind days, months, weeks of trying to get to that point. It's all small steps. So just continue, practice. Meet up consistently, write. Even if you think you suck, keep writing. I'm at that point now where I want to get better, and I want to get better by doing it. And honestly, the work pays off. Either it pays off with the success or it pays off with the lesson, and you know that you can do these things and that it was fun. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing I could take out of that.
I hope you didn't say that last interview.
I didn't. I thought about it. I was like, what did I say last time? I can't repeat. But if I had to think of a mental health thing, two things. One, drink water. I feel like no matter what, there's not enough water drinking in this world. Keep yourself hydrated. That can help so much with your mental wherewithal, as well as just how you feel in your
Do you
day.
remember the water song?
The water song?
The water song that we made? Water.
Oh, God. I don't want to talk about
Water.
No. Water. Yeah, we did the water song. But, and, just don't be afraid to open up. I think, just like Jonny brought up, the idea of toxic masculinity is something that can really hinder someone for expressing how they feel. But just in a blanket general sense, I feel like people are afraid of telling or stating how they feel because they're either worried about the influence or impact of others, they're worried about the perception others will have of them, or they'll just feel like they're not in a safe place to let it out. Fact of the matter is, when you let that feeling out, when you're able to openly discuss that thing that's in your head that you feel like no one's going to want to hear or hear from you, it gains a better clarity of who your real friends are. It gains you a better understanding of who you are as a person. And I mean, you find your authentic self when you can truly let that be seen to the public. And that's definitely very important in today's age of authenticity.
Hell yeah. Johnny?
So advice to new bands.
Give up. Quit. The world's
Don't
ending.
start a band.
If making mistakes is not part of your success plan, you're not geared towards success. Success is part of, failures, mistakes are just another part of success and getting to success. So go in with all the ambition in the world. Keep that dream alive, even if you know it's naive. If it drives you, keep it alive. Make mistakes, and don't romanticize your obsession.
Facts.
Do not think that it is worth sacrificing every ounce of everything you have. Take care of yourself, and then you'll get there. And then I guess with like mental health stuff, man.
Here's a rant.
No, I honestly just, we spend so much time living in the past, thinking about, what's happened throughout the day. And then we spend a lot of time worrying about the future. And I guess one of my biggest pieces of advice is just spend a little bit more time in the now. Just take a little bit of time to just explore your 5 senses and what's going on right now. And
everyone take acid right this moment. Do drugs and blow up things.
Just start losing.
just be in the moment for a little bit throughout each day, because we spend so much time thinking about what's next and what's already happened. Sometimes it's good to just be here.
Yeah.
True.
Very true. I just wanted to say I'm very OCD about these lights, and we all have terrible lights right now. Red and blue. Yours fits as a green, but then you have a blue shirt on, but red background. You got a red shirt with blue back. It's just been bothering me this entire time.
I was thinking
Contrasting
that.
colors, though.
Man.
Contrasting
Honestly,
colors.
I just had to say something.
I would be concerned though, because there's like borderline thoughts in my head that if we did that, we'd probably look like Power Rangers. Just like,
What?
Green Ranger, tell us how you really feel about the scene right now.
Wait,
and
why wouldn't we do this?
I mean, I don't know about
Like,
you, but I don't
that's
have
my
a
dream is to be a
Megazord.
Power
I
Ranger.
don't want to lie to people. I don't have a Megazord.
I thought
don't-
Power Rangers were real for a while.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
No, same.
I mean, they may be out there fighting that giant. What is it? I don't
Switches every episode,
He
right?
does, like a mega dinosaur is destroying the town for the 17th time, and it's like
Isn't it
skyscrapers.
like Zorpazord or something?
Something like that. I just keep thinking, how many times can they rebuild a city and not prepare for the next gigantic
that
monster attack?
What's the ooze guy? Do you remember that?
I have an ooze.
God.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's got to have some kind of form of the word pus in their name. I
Ew.
think.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh
Ooze.
no, it's Mecha Pus.
The pussy monster.
Oh wait, no, that's Ninja Turtles: Secret of the Ooze.
No, there's an ooze guy. I'm pretty sure there's an ooze
no,
guy.
there is an
Power
ooze
Rangers?
guy.
There's
Yeah,
he's
I have a news. They
purple
made a
or
whole
something.
movie
There was
about
a
him.
movie. It was
Yeah,
like
They
sounds like
stole
Grimace
D&D
right now.
content from that movie.
I
They're
know
playing
that
Cancun's.
movie. I remember the movie, and I actually saw like a couple years ago. I rewatched part of it.
Yo, this
So bad.
This just went from mental health to Power Rangers so fast. Can we just accept that we just totally went from talking about it's okay to feel okay or to not feel okay to talking about the Mechazoids and like trying to make sure we can connect.
There we go.
Whatever about mental health, we're on to Power Rangers now. Like,
This is just like the perfect time to go and full circle. And the Green Ranger went to therapy and took care of all of his internal problems. There we
I'm
go.
pretty sure
So-
that
There
was
we
a
go.
story arc in season 3 of the 1998 series.
Bro. Oh man, really?
No,
Dude,
I made
but
that up.
did you guys know?
He got me. He got
You
me.
guys know that the Green Ranger's undefeated in MMA?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've seen him
Like-
talking a lot of trash on
This
it.
is your guys'
there
table.
there was no contest. Like, he destroyed every 4 of his opponents.
This is the NAST podcast.
We got to start our sports podcast next.
NAST podcast with.
Cashing in karma. Deuces.
And we
Dave?
did it.
And yeah, us.
I love you, Melvin. And we did it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Teamwork making the dream work, y'all.
Awesome.